people coming and the talented ones. What I'm talking about. That's why the order was done this way. A boop, a boop, a boop. Okay, so guys, Ghazi AL Balucci discovered, I love that word, by a talent already in this place.
That's part of my story, fam.
Yeah. I'm not saying nothing, man. Right? And guess what? He goes to go on to discover others. Part of your story too?
Yes.
Right on, bro. And he is fantastic. Talented, professional, except when he doesn't answer his phone for 3 days and texts you in midnight.
Sorry.
Right? And he's got the best hair. So, coming from somebody with no hair. Right? So, ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for Ghazi AL Balucci.
Thank you so much. I've done public speaking for a very long time, but I'm really nervous tonight for some reason. First of all, a big thank you to Insta8 for having me and the rest of the speakers. Some really exciting stories and inspiring ones. A big thank you to Amantel for always supporting youth with so many different projects. Okay, where do I start? The hashtag. Okie dokie, give me a sec. All right.
Timer.
Okay. So I had a bunch of videos I would have loved to play, but since we have some technical issues,
I'll
comment over them, but I'll still play them. So basically, my name is Ghazi AL Balucci. I'm a marketing student that refuses to finish his degree in marketing, but I've been working in marketing for a while, so it's been going great. I'm super passionate about music. It's what I do. I write music, I write songs, and I love jamming with other local talents. I'm going to start on a negative note and say that we've always struggled as creatives to have platforms for us to showcase our talents. With time, photography, graphic design, visual arts slowly started developing. They got a bit more attention, but music was always left behind. I think that's possibly because it's quite against, I don't know, ما راح أتفلسف عليكم, but we needed a platform. We waited long for someone to step up to the plate. No one did. So eventually you had a bunch of young musicians creating a platform for themselves, by themselves, and having a great time. So this whole live music thing started for me back in 2014, I believe. Same time Insta8 popped up. A special thank you to Mr. Chindi. This guy's getting a lot of praise tonight. An amazing force for local creatives. So this was the first time I ever got to share my music publicly to a live crowd. It was at a charity event called Got Hope to support Cancer Month. So it was a great opportunity. I messed it up. I sang horribly, but apparently some people loved it, and I was excited to see that people were interested to hear more. And that's when my journey started into live music. Luckily, around the same time, we had venues that started open mics, which are basically weekly venues that literally have an open mic for anyone to step up to the plate and perform and showcase their arts. That's when me and another fellow musician, Ahmed al-Busaidi, put a lot more effort and a lot more professionalism into what we always thought was something silly we did on the side. Moving on, opportunities slowly grew thanks to social media being such an amazing tool, which allowed us to reach to larger audiences. I had an opportunity to fly out to Saudi Arabia to of course there's no sound, it's a beautiful track, to collaborate with producers and creatives in Saudi. This would have been funny if you could hear what it... And Chindi also gave me a place to stay, which I really appreciate. Chindi was working in Saudi at that time. After that, we had other opportunities, like the Red Bull Music Academy, which is an amazing opportunity for musicians around the world. So I got the chance to participate representing Oman for the first time, amongst another 30 or 20, I believe, musicians from around the region. So that was an amazing opportunity. That allowed me to interact with other creatives, specifically musicians like myself from around the region, all stepping up to the plate and trying to make a change from where they come from. Soon after, I realized that all the small steps of success I was achieving in my own music was not as fun because I did not have anyone to share it with. So we started this platform called Just Jam Sessions. We tried to get sponsorships. Amantel was not approached, unfortunately, so that was a mistake from our behalf. We're coming soon. But we did approach a lot of people, and we weren't very happy with the reactions we got. We didn't have enough people that believed in us. Funnily enough, today I'm standing here speaking at Insta8, but I remember a time where I asked Fahmi to have an Insta8 themed with music, and he said, there's not enough musical talent in Oman. And I love that today I was able to not prove Fahmi wrong, but prove that statement wrong. In Oman, we have a lot of talent, specifically musically speaking. Thank you, Fahmi. I also am stubborn. So we started Just Jam Sessions. We had our first one. It was huge. We expected a small crowd, a humble crowd of 50 to 100 people. We had 300 people plus show up at the Grand Hyatt. And we had over 20 live local musicians sharing original music, covers, whatnot. People came there and had a really good time. We invested our own money into this. Zero sponsorships. We made zero money off of it. We had to pay for the rent and all the costs. And that's where basically everything kind of started rolling into place, and people started realizing this is something beautiful and worth supporting. And the support of the people came right after. So that's Just Jam Sessions, a project we started to create platforms for local musicians. And from then on, we had other opportunities where amazing happens together. We had Fahmi back on supporting, providing another opportunity. Fahmi at the time was active on the radio, so he was nice enough to have me and another musician, Mambo, over there on live radio, promoting the project Just Jam Sessions. And then I realized there's a beautiful thing when you share these moments by supporting other people. Nice car. So not better than yours, I promise. So this is something I believe I accidentally inherited through Chindi, but I realized that by supporting other people, by scratching other people's backs, in one way or another, it comes back. You can call it karma, you can call it an act of God, whatever you choose to believe. Doing good things for other people without expecting anything in return definitely shows results in the long run. So I decided, thank you. So I decided I'd like to be a more active member as far as promoting the concept of do what you love, regardless of what it is, whether it's music or whatever it is. If your family does not approve of it at the start, it doesn't mean it's wrong. If your community does not approve it at the start, it does not mean it is wrong. It just means that you have your vision, and with time, I sound very inspirational at the moment. I'm proud of myself. Thank you, thank you. So I had other opportunities where I took advantage of them. I've been to schools to perform and talk to young children, making the idea of playing music a bit more serious and exciting than it is just as something to do in the shower. So I speak to very little kids and try to make them understand that, hey, this is possibly something you could do in the future as a full-time job, something you could make money of, something your parents could be proud of. It's not a silly joke you do on the side. Till this day, I have my parents hoping for me to get out of this phase of playing music. So they don't get it yet, but I hope they do with time. So this was a beautiful moment that I really cherish. Other opportunities have been with university students at the Sultan Qaboos University as well, but I don't have a picture of that. Moving on, other opportunities we've had, I'm looking at time, sorry, I know he said don't. We've had international artists perform at Oman, a concert of over 3,000, was it 3 or 6,000? 3,000 people watching, attending, and we had the opportunity through the Just Jam umbrella to push local musicians to open for that show. You're talking about musicians that just got into performing live and have an opportunity to perform in front of an audience that is just, it was massive. I cannot explain it. And then we've been trying to develop the concept of Just Jam Sessions. Now we have live music sessions, but there's another beautiful creative field which I love and I hate that there's a lack of opportunities for, which is live poetry. Oman has a lot and a lot and a lot of really talented young writers, poets, songwriters. So Just Jam started its next branch, which was live poetry sessions. This I'm gonna have to, because I really would love for you guys to hear this. Also, the woman speaking on the track is a young Armani poet herself.
How much of an impact words have on our lives, how much of a difference each sentence can make. So do your work passionately. Recite your poetry magically and don't be scared that it might end tragically. Because without mistakes, one would never learn. Just do whatever you love with a burning passion that is visible through the eyes of every soul. This is your call. You were put on this planet for a purpose. It is worth it. Your words are worth it. Your words are the fire to the gas leak in a world with a dead beat. So speak.
Thank you. I promise you these sessions, these poetry sessions, these music sessions might not seem like something you're into because maybe you just haven't tried them before. But I urge every person here to attend one at least, and you'd be surprised and just amazed by the amount of talents that are around. And if I'll end, well, I should have ended a minute ago, but if I'll end my mini speech, I'd say that I believe Mazoun touched on this topic. Support is not financial. Support is not necessarily physical, but just sharing, inviting someone. If you're going to attend, bring three more people with you. Tell people about it. That's how we've been growing. It's by word of mouth. It's by people. We've grown because of the support of the people and not by a higher power or by anyone influential or anyone with money. It's been growing from the smallest people. And a big thank you obviously goes out to the official team behind Just Jam Sessions, the guys that carry all the heavy equipment and put up with all the upset musicians and poets. A lot of hard work goes into it. It remains a project organized by young creatives for young creatives, and I urge everyone here to support local creatives. Big thank you again to Arman Tella and insta8 and Fahmi. Thank you. I keep doing that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ghazi AL Balucci, a superstar and a man to be reckoned with. All the best, Ghazi, in the future. All the best, Arman Tella, supporting Ghazi.